Hello everyone, welcome to Derail Valley. Today in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to operate the DE2 train. The game does not do a very good job at explaining what everything does. It gets you by, but it's hard to understand what each and everything does specifically. So I'm going to show you that today. So whenever you start the game, you'll be in that office. You'll be here at the steel mill, and you'll have a job to do. Now, I won't show you how to do a job in this episode. In this episode, I'm showing you how to operate the train. How to operate it, how to drive it, how to shut it off, and what everything does. This train is the first train you get to drive. It's the easiest to learn, probably. So yeah, I'll teach you. So there it is, the DE2. Specifically, it is called the DE2-480. It is meant mainly for heavy shunting. Now, all shunting is moving around train cars at the yard. So you don't even leave the place. You just move stuff around. That's its main job, but it can also haul things. So if you see at its hauling score, it's not that great. But even though it has a bad score, it will haul things just fine. The starter jobs, anyway. So you come back here to the turntable. That's what this is. You can move this in several ways. You're going to have to if you want to get the train out of here. You can run into this thing, walk into it, and it will move it. That's pretty slow and inefficient. You can also come to here, which you can turn this lever, which, by the way, to interact with things, you can hold left click and use your mouse. You can hold Alt and then have your mouse this way and then move it. Or you can use the scroll wheel. Or alternatively, for the turntable, you can hold Alt and press these buttons up here. These buttons may not be here depending on what game mode you are. If you're in the basic game mode, you will have access to those. But if you're in something like realism, you won't. Nor will you have access to third person, which is what this is. On foot, it's like a fly mode, and here it's third person. So I won't be explaining what these things do today. I'll do that in another episode for how to do your first job. But here's the train. I'll give you a quick walk around. Here's the back, right side, the front, and the left side. So let's go up here. Open the door with your scroll wheel. So up on the scroll wheel opens it, down closes it. So I'll show you what everything does. So this here is the parking brake. That's pretty self-explanatory. So you see how this knob is offset from the center to the right? That means that it's engaged. If it was off-center to the left, see how it's not perfectly centered and it's to the left? That's disengaged. I'll just turn that back on. Over here is your fuse panel. It's also your starter. So there's your starter, your electric fuse, your starter fuse, your TM, which stands for track motor fuse. That is pretty much how the wheels have power supplied to them. You have your dash light fuse and your cab light fuse. Here are your brake systems. You have your train brake. So the train brake slows down the locomotive and any train cars you have behind you. The independent brake only slows down the locomotive, so it's not very good for when you have cars attached. Down here is the brake cutoff valve. When this is open, it allows air to flow through the brakes and let your train slow down. I'm just going to close that for now. Here are your brake pipe and your main reservoir. Those are air supplies. So the main reservoir is your air supply, and your train generates pressurized air when the engine is running. And to have sufficient braking power, you want at least 2 bars. And I'll explain more about the brake pipe in a minute. You have to turn the train on. The tachometer is pretty easy. It's your RPMs. It's how fast your engine, the flywheel in the engine rotates. So 120 would be 120 times a minute, and so on and so forth. Here's your track motor temps. Pretty much the hotter this gets, the more likely something bad is to happen with your track motors down there, which are these things. These like wheel looking things. I won't go into detail about what happens, just bad things happen because different things can happen. This is your speedometer. It's in kilometers an hour. So its top speed is 90 kilometers an hour. If you went any faster, it would probably derail and it would be disastrous. This right here is your ammeter. Whenever you engage the throttle, your amps go up. And so say if you were to quickly engage the throttle from a start, these would fly up and your breaker would pop, track motor breaker would pop, and your wheels would slip. And in some cases, the engine to the train will turn off. This is your sand gauge. Sand is used for grip, say when it's raining or when you're going up a hill, or sometimes whenever you have really, really heavy loads. This is the button to activate the sand. Wheel slip, that just indicates if your wheels are slipping or not, if they're losing grip. Fuel and oil gauge, that's pretty self-explanatory. These three can be filled up at a service station. Your fuel cutoff, this cuts off the fuel supply to the engine up here, which basically that's the kill switch. It turns the engine off. Track motor offline, that will light up for many reasons. Say if you derail, or possibly when the wheel slip comes on. I'm not entirely sure when that comes on, like the specifics, but I do know what it does. The electrics, that literally just lets you know if that fuse is turned on or not. Here you got your cab fan button. It's that fan there. The fan does nothing. Even when it's on, it does nothing. It's purely for looks. Wipers, you got two there, one here. Front lights, rear lights, and your horn. Normally that would turn on. This is your reverser. It is pretty much your gear stick. So middle is neutral, back is reverse, forward is drive. This is your throttle. The more down you pull it, the more throttle that it gives you. And when it's all the way at the top like that, it's fully disengaged. That's pretty much everything there is to know. Now I'll show you how to turn it on. So first thing you're gonna want to do is, oh, by the way, control is for crouch, X is for sit down. If you hold X and use your scroll wheel, you can change the height of which you sit. You want to turn on these three. You can turn on these as well. I'm going to, just so I can see better. And then you want to turn the starter to the right. Then you let off. Train is on. It's easy as that. Then you want to disengage the parking brake. Open the brake cutoff valve so your brakes have air. As I said earlier, your engine will generate pressurized air, and you want to wait till it's about 2 bars, so we'll just let that run. There's really nothing much else to do. That's about all there is in the starting procedure. I can show you what the fan looks like. It's cool to have. Your wipers. So with these, I'm scrolling up on my scroll wheel. Then another time, then a third setting. Front lights, you turn it back. So if you pull them back, it turns this red light on. If you turn them back just once, it's like a different brightness. It changes the brightness of that. If you push them forward, that kind of turns them on, lets, I guess, other people know that you're about to do something. It just lights them up. Then the next setting actually shines them, and then these are your brights. Your fog lights, technically, the setting. For the rear lights, it is completely the same. Horn, you can go up or down, and it'll do a horn. Just like that. Well, our reservoir has filled up to 2 bar. We've lined up the turntable. Before we go, I'll explain some hotkeys. So T turns your throttle on. G lowers it. Y and H control the reverser. So H is for down, Y is for up. We'll keep that up because we're going to need it in the forward position. U turns on your train brake, J turns it down, I and K are the same for the independent brake. That's all the hotkeys you really need to know. I'm just explaining because I'm going to be using them. So, to move forward, make sure your parking brake is off. Make sure these brakes are off, which you'll know they're off because they'll be facing kind of backwards. When they're forwards, they're engaged. Now, even if you don't have cars attached, you can still use the train brake if you wanted to. But we're going to make sure the reverser is in the forward position. Engage some throttle, just a little bit. And then when you actually get going, you can turn it off and it'll let you coast. It's a good practice. And when we're fully on, activate the brake. Come to a complete stop. Let's turn the table all the way until it lines up with that track there. You can also drive in reverse if you want to. You can still go the same speed that you could in forward. We're going to disengage the independent brake, holding K or J if you use the main brake. Press T to turn the throttle on, and off you go. If you hold tab and use your scroll wheel, you can select what's in your hotbar. If you press caps lock, it shows your inventory. And that's it. You have officially started up the train, and hopefully I've helped you understand everything a little bit better. But now I want to show you how to just turn it off. How to fully shut down the train. Turn the throttle off, fully apply the brake. You can turn it off once you're to a stop if you're on flat ground. So I'll show you what to do. So, first thing, let's turn the parking brake on. Then, you want to press the fuel cutoff button until it shuts off the engine. Then you want to close the brake cutoff, turn off all the fuses, and you're done. That is how you shut down the DE2. You've officially learned about every control and what it does, learned how to turn it on and move it and operate it, and how to shut it down. Hope this tutorial was helpful. If you liked it, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions or suggestions for me, please leave it in the comments. I will reply to as many comments as I can if you send any. And yeah, I hope this tutorial was helpful. Have a great day. See ya.